Philabundance is Delaware's largest hunger relief agency. They just launched their own brand of cheese called Abundantly Good. Joining me now is Kait Bowdler. Did I get that right?
Bowdler. It's
Bowdler, okay. She's the Director of Sustainability at Philabundance. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
It is a pleasure. Now, we are going to talk cheese today.
This is my daily life, so.
Look, like you got to know it, right? So tell us, what is the program about?
So the goal behind Abundantly Good is that we want to provide better product for our clients. As you mentioned, we are the area's largest hunger relief organization, and we're constantly looking for better ways to provide quality products for our clients, but a lot of times quality product comes at a cost. So we figured out, okay, can we tie it to a retail program? And every time someone purchases cheese at any of our retail locations, $1 from every pound goes to the farmer so that they can provide the cost for the processing to make that cheese for our clients. So it's the same quality product, but it is, for the client side, it's upcycled, so it's excess milk.
Wow. So how did this get started?
It's through a lot of random connections and you know how the world works. Someone knows someone else. And it all started actually with Monica in our food acquisition department. Her father is a dairy farmer in New York, and he connected us with dairy farmers in Pennsylvania, and we worked through that and figured out, okay, so here's two challenges, and these are both things that we care about. There's excess food, a lot of time that's going to waste, and there's also people who need that food. So if you weren't aware, 40% of all food goes to waste in the country right now, as well as 1 in 8 Americans, and then 1 in 5 Philadelphians are going hungry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, was a lot of, I know that Lancaster is a big connection. Did a lot of their milk go to waste, or?
So yeah, specifically how we really started this program was there's this fantastic program in the state of Pennsylvania Agricultural Surplus System, which is state funding that provides for the purchasing and processing of donated goods for clients. Because there are opportunities that farmers can't always plan. Sometimes you don't have enough, and sometimes you have way too much. Cows still make the same amount of milk, no matter how many people are buying it. And so most likely, there's a lot of people in this area that just aren't buying as much milk as they used to. You know, there's almond milk, and there's all these different options, or people are saying it's bad for you or something. So those farmers that depend on it are stuck. You can't really just change your dairy cow into, you know, a head of lettuce like that.
They don't take vacations. They don't go to the beach on the
They
week.
don't.
No, during the summertime,
No.
but we still want milk. Right?
So what do you do with that? So this quality product is just getting left there, basically. And if you didn't know, Pennsylvania is the second largest dairy state after Wisconsin. So it's a huge source of income and support for all of our rural communities. So it's kind of this beautiful way to tie rural and urban, and how we can kind of support both of those communities together.
That is great.
Yeah.
Now, you stated about people saving or donating. Are there different partners that people are connecting with, or how? Where is that saving coming from?
So Philabundance is blessed. We have a lot of supporters, and we have a lot of people who want to work with us. And it's just a matter of finding those different ways. You know, sometimes people can donate to us, and they just want to directly donate. Sometimes they're going to come and volunteer their time. But sometimes if they don't want to do any of those things, they can also just go to the store and buy cheese. You know, most people in Philadelphia, I don't want to make any assumptions, but there's a lot of people who eat cheese.
Cheesesteaks, just saying.
So how do we make that just a part of their daily life? You know, you buy the food you would normally buy, but you're also doing good at the same time. Eat good, do good. It's just an easy situation.
So now, listen, as people from Philadelphia, you can have your cheesesteaks and give back too. Listen.
Yeah. So definitely, please visit any of our retail partners. You can find them on our website, philabundance.org/upcycle. And so we've been working with DeBruno's and their 5 locations. They are cheese. They are the masters of knowing what's good in cheese, and they were our founding partners. So they helped us figure out, test the market, try the different types, get really excited about this product. And we've now expanded. You can also buy it at River Ward's Produce. You can also eat it at a lot of local restaurants. So we've been working with Hungry Pigeon, Misconduct Tavern, and some others. So it's been really exciting, and we're just kind of slowly growing it.
Now, I heard you say the word upcycling.
Okay.
Can you give us a little more details about what that is?
Yes. So that has been really important to us, is that Abundantly Good, the official moniker or tagline of it, is upcycle and uplift. Because it really is this triple bottom line program. So think about it. The uplift part's easy. We're helping farmers. We're giving them a new income source. We're also helping our clients by providing quality product. And then on top of it, we're also helping the planet because we're taking food that otherwise would have gone to waste and putting it to a new use. So I want to be clear, it's not wasted food and it's not bad food. It's just that right now we're not really doing anything with it correctly. So upcycle is the fancy term for basically what you've always done and what your grandmother's always done. Well, when you have extra berries, you turn into jam. When you have a spotted banana, you make banana bread. It's just kind of looking at that product that maybe on its surface doesn't look exactly right, but you figure out a different use for it.
That's a good note. So just that thought process of what you just said, these are some tips that help people to actually save on food, because they can actually, about the tomatoes. So what was your suggestion about tomatoes and bananas and things that they could do to preserve those items?
Yeah, and that's part of it. This is supposed to be an inspiration. You know, we all can change our mind a little bit on how we take care of the products that are around us. You know, I can't change everyone's opinion right away, but there are little things that you can do that just to make different habits, you know. You can freeze your bananas. You can figure out different uses for them. You can take the tomatoes that are starting to get a little too soft and probably aren't so great on that sandwich, and you can make a sauce or soup out of it. There's just so many different ways to look at it, and we're just hoping Abundantly Good is just one way to engage a new audience in this world.
Awesome. Now, just because it's Philabundance, we know that they're supporting a lot of people in the community. But when the people see that truck, it's like, oh, this fruit is just old, or this is not good fruit. What is your thoughts for that?
So, and that makes me really sad, and that's honestly part of the biggest goal of this program, is that we want to tell everyone this is quality products. And it's just that because of, you know, challenges in the marketplace, these products couldn't be sold. So we want to be very clear. So last year, take for example, we rescued and distributed 25 million pounds of food in our area. 80% of that was food that otherwise would have gone to waste. So if you start to really unpack that number and you think about it, yes, a lot of it's from farms, a lot of it's from grocery stores. We get about 10 million pounds from local grocery stores. But some of it also is from what we call a rejected load. So that's a bag of grapes. You know those little bags of grapes that you see in the grocery store? Mm-hmm. If they are 0.5 ounces under the weight that they're supposed to be, the vendor will say, nope, I'm not taking it. All of those grapes are perfectly good. They're just not what the vendor wanted. So then they turn it away. Or if there's just an oversupply. Last year we got 11 million pounds of, which is great, from the Port of Philadelphia, but it was only 2 products, grapes and melons. No matter how hard you try, you can only eat so many grapes and melons in a certain period of time.
Right.
So what do you do with all of that? And that's where we have to try to figure out, okay, let's start to share. We shared a lot of that out with other food banks across the country, and they share things with us. When we all have times of excess, there's also times where we have nothing. And so you kind of have to figure out, like, well, what do we do to support each other?
Wow,
Yeah.
that is awesome, because a lot of people see the trucks coming, but they are not excited about it. But they just need to understand that this is the same thing that the market just says, no, we have enough, or it may not be the right weight.
Yeah.
So that is awesome, just to get that information out there so that they know. Hey, you see that truck? Follow that truck.
Follow that truck.
Find out where he's dropping those fruits and vegetables off, because it's good quality fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, and we're just trying to, you know, make a better food system. And there's a lot of things we still need to do. And will this solve all the problems? No. But it's one step closer. It's one way to start to figure out, how do we just start to look at everything a little different?
So how are you getting this information to the community? How are you sharing it and notifying them?
So I think that's what we're trying to do more of now, because I think you're right. We haven't always done such a great job at that, but this is what we've been founded on. Philabundance has always been a food rescue organization. But, you know, it was part of this education campaign that has to happen where we're saying, we're not feeding people waste, we're feeding good quality products, and it's just things that otherwise would have gone to waste. So we're trying to be smart about and figure out, okay, well, how do we make these connections and how do we make this work? And so that's what we're doing more of now. And that's through things like the Abundantly Good program. That's through our newsletters. That's through our website, having this be a part of more of our messaging, doing events, activities, doing more conversations with our agencies. So we have a network of 360 agencies spread across 9 counties. So that's a lot of, you know, education right there. Just spreading that word, and then they can spread it out to their networks too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if someone is hearing about this cheese that is being distributed and someone replies, oh, Philabundance, they're giving out government cheese, what would your response be to that?
So the thing is, yes, we have, because we've done some government programs, but we're really trying to get away from that. We're trying to provide a better product. So our goal is really to figure out how do we do more local. And so that's why we're testing this out, and we're figuring out, you know, it's still small. We've only distributed about 4,000 pounds of cheese at this point to our clients through this free program through Abundantly Good. But each time we figure out how to do a little bit more, it allows us to expand that program. So the more that we can get support for this, the more that we can say, okay, well, we don't need any of those government programs. We don't need to do any of that. But I mean, very honestly, government programs like SNAP and those sorts of things are a huge support for families, and we could never replace that. Right. And so we don't want to try to replace all that, but we do want to try to do what we can do best, which is provide better quality food for our clients.
And at the end of the day, everything is about the quality.
Yep.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah, and you know, we're striving. We're trying to figure it out. We're growing too, so it is constantly this, how do we keep moving forward a little by little?
Well, with your partners, it sounds like you guys are creating a great product.
This is true. Yes, we are very thankful to all of our partners on all sides. So the farmers, the retailers, the funders that support us like the Clinial Foundation, our agency network, they make this all happen. So it's all through them.
Okay. If somebody wanted to get more information, how would they be able to contact you guys?
So they can go to our website, and we have different contact forms on there. So it depends on what people want to do. Because hopefully they want to volunteer, or hopefully they want to donate. And so all of those different options are there. And then if you want to learn more about the sustainability program, it's sustainability@philabundance.org.
So there are many ways to give back. Because some people's like, I want to give back, but I'm not really sure. So they can volunteer, they can donate, they can support one of the partners.
Yes.
And part of that money goes to the Philabundance.
Yep.
So there's multiple ways. You can just go to the website if you want to volunteer,
or our newest one that I love.
There we go. All right.
Is what I'm titling our Urban Gleaning Program. So we've been partnering with the Philadelphia Wholesale Produce Market, and it's the largest indoor refrigerator, at least in America. And you can go down there for 4 hours and help out and sort through produce. And over the course of those 4 hours, you will be a part of saving 20,000 pounds of food that can go to our clients. So what happens is that for vendors, a lot of times that produce, it's more cost effective for them to throw it out if there's a couple bad in there, because they don't have the time. You know, time is money. They don't have the time to sit there and sort through. But they have been fantastic and allow us and our army of volunteers to come down there, and we can sort through it. And we can say, okay, these are actually bad, and these are the good ones we're going to keep.
Well, thank you for all this great information.
Yeah.
I know people are definitely going to go to the website, check it out. Thank you for your time, and you're watching PhillyCAM Voices, and we'll be right back right after this. Mayor Kenney recently made a decision to end a controversial contract with ICE, better known as Immigration Customs Enforcement. Occupy ICE demonstrators camped outside of City Hall for a month, waiting for a decision. Reporter Adam Bornstein has more.
Activists, collectively known as Occupy ICE, set up camp at City Hall on July 6th to protest the city's immigration policies. They have been pushing the city and Mayor Kenny to meet their demands and intend to stay there until they are.
Our first demand is abolish ICE. Our second demand is shut down Burke's. And our third demand, which is the one we're focusing on right here at this encampment, is that Mayor Kenny not renew the PARS agreement on August 31st.
I'm here to support these kids that have been taken away from their mothers and their fathers, 5 years old and under. That's unbelievable. It's ungodly. It's a crime.
Ending the Preliminary Arraignment Reporting System, or PARS, agreement has been a fight going on since 2008 when the current contract began. It intensified with the separation of immigrant families by the Trump administration.
When someone is arrested, their information is entered into the PARS system, their name, national origin, and whether or not they have a social security number specifically. And that information is sent directly to ICE. So we're here to say that the direct communication between the city, which is supposedly a sanctuary city, and the institution that's coordinating these mass deportations and mass imprisonment of valuable members of our community, it's unacceptable.
The more people that are here, the more people will take notice. The officials will take notice.
And take notice they did, as Mayor Kenny announced on Friday, July 28th, that the PARS contract would not be renewed with Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
We cannot in good conscience allow the agreement to continue. So, our city solicitor, Marcel Pratt, has notified ICE officials in writing that the agreement will not be renewed when it expires on August 31st.
Our process involved the mayor himself, members of his office, the managing director's office, the Office of Immigrant Affairs, and the city's law department.
The termination of the PARS contract is the right decision. It's a decision that will once again reinforce to our immigrant communities that this city is not an extension of ICE. Witnesses and victims of crime in our city will know that they need not fear negative consequences when they report crimes to police or use services offered by the city.
In any protest, you hope your voices are not just heard, but followed by action. That was certainly the case here, but they're not done yet. One of their demands were met, but their fight to reach other goals continues, probably with the governor's office in hopes of closing down the Burke's detention facility. For PhillyCAM Voices, I'm...
Second annual Yalla Punk Festival is returning to Philadelphia August 31st through September 2nd. Joining me now to tell us more about this awesome festival is Rana. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is great to have you. I'm so excited to hear and learn more about the festival. What is the Yalla Punk Festival?
So Yalla Punk was founded last year following a very dramatically changing political climate. It made sense to have an event that redefines the narrative for Middle Eastern, North African individuals during a time when we're being painted as violent, as backwards. Orientalism is a very negative thing for the image of Middle Eastern, North African individuals.
Okay.
Yes.
So y'all get into your anniversary time. So
yes.
When you started this, what was the purpose of the festival?
Well, first it was more of a reaction to negative depictions of Middle Eastern, North African individuals. And it became, this year, from a reaction to building a community. So as a community, it's an intersectional community. It's a safe space. We're a trans-affirming organization, and it's become a place to cultivate creative talents for individuals that might otherwise be seen as alternative voices that don't really have a very welcoming space to speak.
Okay. So when you got started about a year ago,
yes.
Was it community driven? Was it internationally driven? Where was your base from?
Well, actually, there is one particular event. So I'm also a musician and a DJ here in Philadelphia, and I actually had an interaction with another DJ who was a white man who used Arabic on his flagger, and it was gibberish. Actually, the letters weren't even connected. And anyone who's seen Arabic before knows that letters are connected. He was just using it on the flyer just for novelty's sake. There was no Arabic music being played. There was no homage being paid to Arabic culture or any Middle Eastern cultures whatsoever. I asked, I said, why are you doing this? And he said, well, this is solidarity. I said, no, you're just doing this to sell tickets. This is not okay.
Because the average person, if you don't know that language, you're just like, oh, okay, that's different.
Yeah. So it looks novel to people, right? So I think that type of appropriation made me really upset. It had been about maybe 10 years since I had booked my last punk show, because I was, as a kid, that's what I used to do. And then I decided that, you know what, I'm going to redefine the narrative through this event. And I actually spoke to my co-organizer, Mariam, that actually lives in Houston, Mariam Hakim, from a band called Giant Kitty. And we sat down, we were talking on the internet, and we said, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's do this. But because she's not local to Philadelphia, it became a little bit difficult to put a lot of work in, but I'm really happy that she's back for the second year. Last year she wasn't able to make it because of Hurricane Harvey. So I'm really glad to have her this year.
Kudos to you for calling it out. Because some people were like, I don't want to say anything, but he just didn't think anything of it. But you bringing the point to that was awesome. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
So when someone comes to the Yalla Punk
Yes.
Festival, what type of experience or environment should they be expecting?
Well, again, it's a safe space. We're a trans-affirming organization, so anything that kind of is disruptive of that safe space will be called out. The idea is to have a place for free expression. There will be music. We have Hello Psycholepo headlining this year. And it's an amazing musician summit. He is Syrian, and he'll be flying into Philly to perform at Johnny Brenda's. We have a returning band, City of Janus, coming back. Flower Punk is coming back. And we also have Hagazi. The Hagazi twins are coming to perform in Philly. There will also be comedy. There'll be poetry. There will be workshops. There will also be film screenings. So
that's a lot going on. It seems like a little bit for everybody.
Absolutely.
So where would the event take place? Do you have that yet?
Sure, absolutely. The music will be taking place at night at Johnny Brenda's. So Friday night, Saturday night will be at Johnny Brenda's. We're kicking off the fest with comedy because what's a better way to start an event than laugh? Mm-hmm. And then we are also going to have the workshops during the day at Spillway Gallery, In Liquid Gallery, and Tiger Strikes Asteroid out of the Crane Arts building.
So you have it spread out, so it's in different areas?
Yeah, it's about a 5-minute walk away, so it's not too far. And then we have a not yet disclosed location for the after party on Saturday, so if people buy tickets in advance, they get to find out.
Awesome. Uh-oh. See the little mystery. Like, we got the after party, but we can't tell you just yet. But that is awesome. How did you come up with the idea of just having it? Usually when people have a festival, okay, it's here. This is the only place. We'll have people, different acts. How did you come up with the concept to just kind of spread it out a little bit, get people to walk around?
Absolutely. Well, the idea is to kind of also contribute to the neighborhood where the event is being held. So if people stay in one building, they don't really get to experience the neighborhood. And I love Philadelphia so much that I really want people to walk around and explore the city.
Wow, that is very thoughtful. I haven't seen it where people say, no, let's do a community event, not just in the park, but use the local businesses, and that brings business people to their location, and it brings light to the festival itself. That
Absolutely.
Is amazing.
In the end, it's about community. That's what it goes back to.
And that's what that says. Absolutely. Being able to get out of your box, go to the next, meet the next group of people, get out of that box, go meet it just says so much the way that you have just presented it. So if someone has not heard about the festival, what would you like to share with them?
Our website, www.yallapunk.com, and that's spelled as YALLAPUNK.com. Or also follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, we're all over it.
So definitely if you're into music, they definitely need to go check out the website, right?
Absolutely. Right now, actually, you have early bird tickets are on sale. They're about to come down in, I would say, a few days. The early bird tickets are a pretty good deal.
Wow. I just can't get over the fact that how you do the community. It just says so much about the event.
Thank you.
So now, a few minutes ago, you said, I wanted to change punk. What did you mean by that?
Well, I wanted to change kind of the narrative of Middle Eastern North African individuals, especially because we're seen as violent, and punk has traditionally been, well, not traditionally, most talked about a white space, right? Gotcha. And this is a space for people of color. This is a space for queer individuals. This is a space for immigrants. Everybody is welcome. And also not just people from Middle Eastern North African backgrounds. That is our focus, but it's open to the public. It's also a way of having an environment, a safe environment for learning. That's why we have the workshops, because people from our backgrounds tend to have a lot of emotional labor put on them. So if we all band together in these workshops, educate people together, then we don't have to do it alone.
Awareness.
Absolutely.
That definitely opens up the eyes to community. Yalla.
Yeah.
Does that have a specific meaning as well?
It does. So Yalla is a call to action. It can mean let's go, or come on.
Okay.
So the kind of it's a word that can be taken in many ways, but it's mainly a call to action.
Okay.
And we think that this is a call to action to get together.
Well, it's a beautiful word to use as a call of action to get together. So again, give your contact information to our viewers.
Sure, absolutely. So our website is at www.yallapunk.com. And we also have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And you stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this. Well, as you can see, we had some great information from Philabundance. We had a great information regarding the Yalla Punk Festival. So make sure that you can go to our YouTube sites. Make sure you check out the rest of any interviews that may have been cut short. You can always see the remaining interviews there. Facebook, make sure you go over there and like us. Make sure you go to our Instagram page. PhillyCAM Voices. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your thoughts. We're about the community, so we want to hear from the community. And we thank you and appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for watching PhillyCAM Voices.